Ready? Play.
Well, hello there, talking tennis community. Here we are on yet another Last Ball Drops, and you won't believe what we're going to be talking about this evening or this morning, depending where you are. Tennis. Joined as not as always, but this evening by Fergus and Nick. Gentlemen, how we doing?
I'm good. I'm ready to go.
Oh, I'm excited. I can finally do a last ball. First time this Wimbledon. Hopefully not the last. But yeah, lots of tennis to talk about, Zach.
Awesome. Well, listen, let's get right into it. Let's get started on the WTA side. After that, we'll get to the men's draw. And with the first match that I want to get y'all's thoughts on, Sabalenka Bouzkova. Fergus, did you get the chance to catch any of this? And if so, what'd you think?
Yeah. I mean, a slightly less routine win for Sabalenka than her first round match. But, again, Sabalenka avoiding the upset. We've had so many upsets so far this Wimbledon. And, it's good to see Sabalenka kind of not in full cruise control, but, making the most out of her good form that she's had. But yeah, Bouzkova could have been a tricky test today, but she passed with flying colours and, moves on to round 3.
Very cool.
Yeah, just the same. I think Sabalenka is one of those players that, okay, maybe she's not expanded her trophy cabinet as much, this season as she would have hoped, but she is the consistent name in the force of chaos in pretty much every draw that she's played in this season. We exclude the Middle East. We don't talk about that. But Bouzkova definitely pushed her today. Like, Bouzkova's a player who's very hard to put away, and she did actually serve for the first set 6-5, but Sabalenka kind of locked in towards the end of that match, and it's definitely only the one real meaningful break in the end during that. But I think, impressive. Sabalenka put the performance in that she needed to. Very, very good performance. Like, she just found the level she needs to get it done. Into round 3.
And the producer points out, by the way, that Sabalenka hit twice as many winners as unforced errors. So, it sounds like this is a match that was a reflection of Bouzkova as much was Sabalenka. Very, very game performance. We're not going to get into a ton of previews this evening, but y'all can probably see one that we are on the screen. Let's keep things rolling to the Raducanu Vondrousova match. Nick, start us off. What'd you think of Raducanu? Is she back? Is she in championship contention again?
I mean, that's one of the best Raducanu performances I've ever seen today. I was interested in the way that she kind of outcrafted Vondrousova. Like, she was, she definitely hit bigger at points, but I was impressed by, she wasn't bothered by Vondrousova kind of mixing up the paces. She was doing the same thing to her. Basically doing to Vondrousova what you'd expect Vondrousova to do to her. She does seem to have Vondrousova's number at Wimbledon. It's the second time she's beaten her at SW19. To answer your main question, is she a title contender? Big question. If it's going to come anywhere, grass is probably the most likely scenario, given she enjoys playing on it, given it suits her so well. The ultimate test is, does this surface close the gap to the best players in the world? Because we've seen it time and again, Raducanu, there's always that little bit of a gap to Sabalenka and Swiatek, who are the players at the top of the game right now, who are setting the standard, or two of them anyway. And she's not been able to really make many inroads in that rivalry. So I'm curious to see whether grass evens that out.
I mean, listen, I feel like the phrase US Open style, like Raducanu style playing tennis is thrown around a lot. It was thrown around last year when she made round 4, and then as soon as she was favourite against Sun, she lost. Obviously 6-2 in the third. And listen, she was playing amazingly last year, but this, it's easy to say this, but this was the best I've seen Raducanu play in a long, long time. So confident on serve, return completely locked in on return. Didn't miss a beat. Was just making Vondrousova so uncomfortable from the back of the court, and hitting shots and finding the angles on shots that should have been winners or may have been winners 6 months ago. But Raducanu's movement has become such a key part of her game. Coming towards Sabalenka, I don't know. I said this with the Vondrousova match, that we kind of always have this big thing about, it's Raducanu versus the Sabalenka or Swiatek, or like a big player. And then the match comes around and it's 6-2, 6-3, and it's over pretty quickly. And yet we're all like Raducanu's still not there, like back where she was when she won the US Open. So, I hope this, stems those sort of matches, but
I have a burning question. Appreciate you're kind of steering the ship, Zach, but I do want to throw this out there, mainly for Fergus, but I do want to hear your views on it as well. What kind of difference do you think surface makes in this matchup?
Yeah, it's a big one, especially as this is probably Sabalenka's weakest surface.
Controversial.
Is it?
Over clay?
I'd say, yeah.
I mean, I think her game translates very well to grass courts, and maybe she hasn't quite had the same results, but it's a short season. She's a big basher. Yeah.
I'm basing this off results, not basing this off game style at this current moment.
I think it's fair to say it's her weakest set of results, but again, it's a very short season. I think that her game lends itself quite naturally to grass court play, though. Or it should.
Yeah, no, absolutely, it does. But until I see the results, I'm not going to call it as I'm not going to say it's Clay is her. She obviously won Madrid and then made the Roland Garros final, and arguably, was in a position to win that Roland Garros final, and then she just, got super tired. That's a whole different conversation. But this brings it down for me to about a 68-32 to Sabalenka. Maybe probably closer to 70-30. I mean, Raducanu looked so good today, but the chances she repeats that performance, I hope so.
Look, if anybody knows how to string together an epic 2-week performance, it's Raducanu.
Yeah, I mean,
that being said, it's been a little bit. I think Sabalenka is going to roll her like 3-4, maybe 3-2. And I think that when Sabalenka makes the finals, we should revisit this moment, because I think that I just think that she is a cut above everybody else right now. I think that there's nobody that can beat her except for her on grass right now. I do expect if her and Svitolina get matched up, it'll be an entertaining match, but Sabalenka, I don't think should have any meaningful trouble beating Raducanu in the next round. Nick, and I think that's true on this surface and every single other one. I think perhaps she'll beat her a little bit more quickly, although not necessarily more convincingly because of the surface. Nick, what do you think?
I am going to disagree slightly. So I agree it's going to be straight sets, Sabalenka, most likely. But I think one of those sets will be a tiebreak or a 7-5.
Ooh, okay.
I think
I agree.
I think that first set, I think it's, and of the two, it's going to be the first set, because I think Sabalenka might start slow. Raducanu's going to want to make it a fight, and then Sabalenka will figure something out towards the end of the first set, get a decisive break in the second, and get on with it. I'm seeing kind of similar kind of vibes to the matches that Emma's played against Iga and Stuttgart, where she's kind of keeping up with Iga in those matches, but there's a sense that Iga's that step above, and I could see a repeat of that happening here. As the most likely scenario, I mean, I think I'm more on the 65-35 Sabalenka. I do think Emma has a chance of springing a surprise, especially given, what on earth is happening this Wimbledon. But that's because I like chaos. So yeah, if we're going with my head, Sabalenka is the heavy favorite.
And hey, we're talking tennis. If you're in the chat, feel free to start typing tennis. We want those comments. We want those questions. Engage with us. We would love to engage with you. Johnny P says Raducanu has no chance. She'll get dusted 1 and 2. Hey, that's the cool thing about predictions. Somebody's be right, somebody's be wrong. We're going to find out. I guess, of course, the great wild card is you never know which players are going to leave London, go to the cultural event of the century in Cardiff, the Oasis reunion. Famously an event that might lead to somebody having a few too many tastes in an evening, and something to keep an eye on. Let's keep things rolling to the next set of matches. Sorry, I had to plug Oasis.
Somebody did.
Absolutely.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.